Good day, Koala Bears.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Koala Bears. Today we are going to discuss the Filipino man. And as you know, most of the vlogs here in the Philippines, it's all about the Filipina. They're talking about the Filipina is this, how to date a Filipina, you know, where to live with your Filipina. So I rarely ever see vlogs talking about the Filipino man. And as you know, as a foreigner, you're going to come here to live and you're going to interact with these gentlemen. You're going to have to make friends with them, get to know who they are. So we thought we'd make a video and we'd talk about what it's like to be a foreigner coming here to meet a Filipino man, and what are some of the characteristics and some of the traits of a Filipino man and an average Filipino man. And so I thought it would be appropriate to wear my shirt, Mr. Perfect. Yes, because every Filipino man is perfect. And we're going to talk about the perfect Filipino man. No, we're not. So we put together a list of some of the traits we believe Filipino men have. And so I'm going to have you read the first one, babe.
First is Filipino men are very hardworking.
That's right. But after work, they like to do they have their vices. They like to drink. They like to smoke, what we call yosi. And they like to gamble. Yeah, so as hard as they work, they like to play. So be aware, when a Filipino man is done with his work, a lot of times they get together and they drink, they smoke, they have a good time, and the more the merrier. They like to hang out with each other, joke around, and drink and smoke. So just be aware of that. This next one, slow to anger but a bad temper. Yes. So a lot of times here in the Philippines, you will run into a man and you want to get into an argument with them. You may notice the Filipino man may not argue back. He'll just stare at you. He'll just look at you. He won't road rage like most Americans. They'll just road rage at each other. They won't hear.
Yes.
If you yell,
they are not confrontational.
No, they're not confrontational. If you yell here, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. And so I'm going to tell you about a story that happened to us at our first apartment. We were at our first apartment when I had just moved here the first year. And we had just bought our trike. And I was backing up and I couldn't see where I was going. But I looked in the back. I didn't see anything. So I backed up. I kept backing up. It was a very small, narrow road to get out. And as I was backing up, I didn't realize that my neighbor's trike he was pulling his trike out of his lot area. And when he pulled his trike out, I didn't see his trike, and I was still going slow because I was just reversing. I hit his trike, and when I hit his trike, I jumped out, and I was so mad. And I was not mad at my neighbor. I was just mad that I hit his trike. So we walked over there, and then I started yelling. I was like, man, I can't believe this. I started cursing. I started using some words that we don't, you know, in America we're used to saying. So I started cursing, and then his wife came out, and this wasn't even a gentleman. He was just staring at me. He was just watching at me. He didn't even say anything. But his wife came out, and I said, I kind of walked away, and as I was kind of just staying in the area, just walking away, I said, son of a... And then she got mad. She was like, why are you cursing at me? Why are you cursing at us? Why are you... You know, and they took that as an insult. And for a Filipino man, he is going to take that as an insult. If you curse, because they don't understand that a lot of the curse words we say, especially in America, are just in general. Like we'll say the F word, not towards somebody, but we'll just say it. But Filipinos, if you curse even one little bit, they will take that as a personal insult, especially Filipino men. And they are very quiet about it. They won't say anything. And so be aware that it's not a good thing to yell at them, yeah?
Yes.
Because they're slow to anger. Okay, here's another one, babe. Go.
They are very responsible people. Like, they sacrifice themselves, go abroad, work there, and then support their family here in the Philippines.
Very responsible. As a matter of fact, Janice's dad was an OFW for 7 years, right, babe?
Yes.
And for those 7 years, how often did he come home?
Like 2-3 times.
2-3 times. Could you imagine that? How many of you foreigners could do that? How many of you could leave your family, your wife, your children, and go away for 7 years and only come back twice, 3 times? That's even worse than what I had to do when I was in the Navy on deployment for just 6 months at a time. Her father did that for 7 years and only came home 2 or 3 times in those 7 years. Wow, that's love, right? That's love for your family. So Filipino men are very responsible. They take care of their family. They just are. All right, babe.
Okay. Filipinos are loyal, lifelong friends and will always got your back.
They always got your back. That's the truth. If you come here to the Philippines, you're going to have to, not have to, I mean, you could live in your house all day, but I mean, you're going to have to interact with the Filipinos here. And I'm telling you, if you go to your neighbors, you get to meet them first, they could become your friends. They will become your friends. To be a friend, you have to give yourself as a friend. So go next door, get to meet them. They will be your friend. If you show yourself friendly, they will be your friend to you, and they will be there all the time. You won't even have to ask them. Sometimes if you need something moved, you call your buddy from next door, hey, help me out. Filipinos won't ask for money. Yes. They won't ask for anything. They'll just come over and say, they'll just see if you're working hard and you need some help. They'll just run over there and help you. So you don't even need to do anything to earn their friendship. Like some friendships you have to earn. You don't need that here in the Philippines. The Filipinos are generally friendly. The Filipino men are generally friendly. And all you have to do is show yourself friendly to them, and you will have a lifelong friend. I trust you. We have our buddies here. I have my buddies here. We're lifelong partners. These are my friends here for life.
Yeah,
so
they are good people.
Filipino men are good people and make the best of friends. Trust me. All right. What do you have? They enjoy a simple life and don't need a lot of extra things. That's the truth. A lot of people in first world countries, they'll just buy a bunch of things thinking that will make them happy. You know, they'll buy toys. They'll buy, I don't know, the things that you buy in Western countries. You buy a whole lot of things, right? And then their garage is filled with all kind of things and toys that they never use, right? But they're always trying to find happiness, the Western countries, in all of their things that they buy because they have all this money. But you know what? Filipinos don't have the money. This is a developing country. Yes. And so you know what they do? They enjoy each other's
simple things.
The simple things in life. And you know what that is? Sitting around a table with food, sitting around talking stories, life stories, things that happened to them in the day. You know, that used to be the way of life a while back. Before we had cell phones, before we had internet, before we had YouTube, everybody just sat around and talked story.
And also, as long as nobody in the family is sick.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
that makes Filipino happy.
Yeah. And so they want health, good health, happiness, and so they enjoy that simple life that a lot of us have forgotten. And so, yeah, Filipino men enjoy the simple way of life. They are good with money. Filipino men are good with money. If they want to buy something, they have the cash.
Yes.
Right? So, if you come here to the Philippines, don't think just because it's a developing country that Filipino men don't have money. They have money. Trust me. I was reminded of a story when my grandfather took me as a kid. We went to a cockfight in Hawaii. Yes, they had cockfights in the day. I don't know if they have them to this day. But we went to a cockfight when I was a kid in Hawaii. And all these Filipino men are there. And I remember, babe, that these Filipino men were not just betting on the cockfights, but they had card tables. There were a bunch of card tables sitting around. And these guys were taking out wads of cash. I'm talking about $100 bills. These guys were like wielding like big, all in rubber bands. You know, they had these big wads of cash. Like, man, I didn't know Filipinos had that kind of money. Even my grandfather was taking out pocket. He had all this money. I'm like, man, what? you better not tell grandma you got all that money gambling out here. But yeah, Filipino guys have money. As a matter of fact, when we both moved here, we bought a motorcycle from a friend. And that was our first transportation. And then it was just too small of a motorcycle. I needed a bigger motorcycle. So we had to sell our first motorcycle when we moved here. And when we sold it, a gentleman, I don't know how you found out how to get somebody to...
Yeah, word of mouth. Maybe.
Word of mouth, you know. It's easy. Once they find out you want to sell something, most Filipinos will come check it out and they'll look.
Yeah.
So a gentleman came and he looked at our motorcycle. And he liked it. He wanted to buy it. So I'm thinking, you know, man, we told him the price. And I was thinking, man, this guy is going to lowball me. He's hardly going to give me. But we decided on the price. And I said, man, I wonder if he's going to ask me if he's going to pay in installments. Or if he wanted a loan on it. But no, we told him the price. And he reached in his pocket. And he had a wad. He had the money in hand. Filipinos, they are very frugal. Thrifty. They will wait till the right deal. And when the right deal comes along, they have the money. So don't feel like that's one thing I like about Filipino men. They know when to spend their money on a great deal.
That's right.
So that's one good pro and one good characteristics of a Filipino man. They are, what's this one, babe?
They are good fathers, yes.
And this one right here.
Oh, they are resourceful. Madiskarte. Yes. Just like Filipino women, Filipino men are very resourceful.
What does madiskarte mean?
Madiskarte means just resourceful. They will provide something that is not there.
That's true. And I put down as a note here, they are the jack of all trades.
That's right.
Let me tell you. Maybe in Manila, you could find plumbers, electricians, you'll have companies there. But when you move farther into the province, you won't have a plumbing business that's going to come fix your plumbing. A lot of times, most of the Filipinos do their own work. So you have to find somebody to do your plumbing, somebody to do your electricity. And so here, the Filipino men are jack of all trades. They know everything. My grandfather was like that. My grandfather built a house from nothing. He put the electricity in there, the plumbing. He put everything. Filipino men are resourceful. They will know how to make a table out of a hanger and a toothpick. They are very good at building things here. And trust me, they are. They're very resourceful. They know how to make a table, a chair. You know, they are good at just making things, you know, they'll make it work. If it doesn't work, they'll fix it. They'll know how. It's amazing. It's amazing here in the Philippines. What about this one, babe?
Okay, Filipinos are good fathers.
They provide the best they can for their children, even if they are low on money.
Yeah.
Filipino men, they'll work long hours. They already do work long hours. Sometimes they only get one day off. A lot of Filipino men, they don't work a 5-day work week. They work 6-day, and sometimes they'll get some side jobs just to make extra money for their families. They're very hard workers, whatever they do, whether it's in business, working in the farm, whatever the trade they have. They are very hard workers in the Philippines. They respect their elders. I love this trait of Filipino men. This is the truth. When you, let's say you go to a Filipino party like we were yesterday. They had a couple gentlemen who were their uncles, and they were up in age. One was 77, one was 70, and they got the chairs for them. They set them down. They put the food in front of their elders. They're like the pillars of their family.
Yeah.
They
make sure that the elders will taken care of.
Yeah, they are. They always make sure that the elders are taken care of. You're right, babe. And it's amazing. Filipino men, that's a big thing for them, is that you respect your elders, especially, you know, the lolas, the lolos. They're held in high regard here in the Philippines. The Filipino men, they really respect their elderly. They really do. What is this one, babe?
They are great lovers. Ooh, Filipinos are very romantic. That's right.
Yeah, they are, babe.
I don't know if that's negative or positive, but yes, it is true.
They have the gayuma too, just like Filipinas. They have the gayuma, which is the love
potion.
Love potion. They have it. They have that suave, that rico suave. They are. Filipino men are great lovers. Let me tell you. My grandmother, who's Mexican, loved my grandfather because he was a great dancer. He wore really beautiful suits. I mean, my grandfather was so suave, man. He knew how to wine and dine a woman. So yes, Filipino men are lovers. So yeah, that is true. But you have to be careful. Sometimes Filipino men have multiple lovers. So just be aware of that. You know, Filipino men may not be held to one woman. They like to
go around. They
like to go outside the farm and look for others. So yeah, Filipino men are lovers. They are machismo. Yeah. And what is machismo, babe?
They don't show emotions. Yeah.
Oh, they're too macho, huh? They don't like to show their sensitive side. Yeah.
Yes, showing sensitive side seems like weak to them.
Right. So you may not see a lot of Filipinos. They rarely cry out in public or in open, right? They keep their emotions inside a lot of times.
Yeah.
And with that said, they like to show their emotions is their machismo is one thing I think of when I see the macho side is they don't like to lose.
Yes.
Yeah. And you were telling me about basketball, right?
Here in the Philippines, if there's two teams, winning team and the losing team will say that they get cheated.
That's right. When I was in the Navy, I used to be every year I was part of the Filipino Philam Basketball Association. So we had basketball league just for Filipinos. And let me tell you, man, those games never ended clear, man. There was always fighting, always arguing. It just came down to the last few points, man. Everybody was cheating and holding on to each other. Filipino men do not like to lose. That is true. So if you ever get into a basketball match with a Filipino man, be aware. He's not gonna let you win easily. You don't like to lose.
For you to win.
Yeah. So Filipino men do not like to lose. That's the machismo, that macho, man. So be aware of that. And our last one here is vengeful. They don't like to be embarrassed or ashamed, and that is the truth. Filipino men, if you try to embarrass them in front of other people, they don't take that well. And so don't try to do something like that. Don't try to yell at them in front of their friends or just in a public setting. In a public setting, if you talk to a Filipino man, you're raising your voice, finger in his face, and you may get away with that in America or in other parts of the world, but not in the Philippines. Don't do that. Point your finger in their face. Say those curse words I told you that you shouldn't be saying anyways. But if you curse in their face, they will take it personal. And one thing they will do, they won't argue with you. They'll stay quiet. And then you may not ever hear from them in a week or even 2 weeks. But the moment you walk out your door one day, there may be two gentlemen on a motorcycle will be waiting for you. Yeah?
Yeah. So be aware.
And so be aware. Do not raise your voice towards a Filipino man and shame them. Don't shame them. They do not like that. Like I said, like Janice said, they are not confrontational. They're and don't take this the wrong way. Most Filipino men are very good people. But like they do not like to be shamed or embarrassed in front of a public, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to end this on a positive note. I know that wasn't a positive note, but we want to tell all the foreigners that are coming here to the Philippines, get to know the Filipino men here. They are very good people. They will be your best friends. They'll be a lifelong friend for you here. They are very resourceful. They know how, if you can't find things, I mean, last month when our trike broke, we couldn't find anybody to tow our trike to the shop. Janice talked to our neighbor and he found somebody to tow our truck the next day. He was in front of our house. We didn't even ask, and he went and found somebody for us. If you find Filipinos like that, good friends like that, they will have your back. And the Filipino men here are just wonderful. Right, babe?
That's right.
So that's all we wanted to say for tonight's message. We wanted to get that out. We see so many videos of people not even mentioning Filipino men, and they're very good people here, hardworking, and they'll be your best friend. So don't forget about the Filipino men. They're good guys, really good guys. If you get to know them when you come here to live. So do we have anything else?
I guess that's it. For foreigners, they gotta respect the culture. It's like respect begets respect.
That's right. Like that. That's true. So respect the Filipino men here, and they will definitely respect you, and you'll have a lifelong friend. So that's all we have for today. We hope you enjoyed today's video, and please like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell. Please subscribe. We are trying to get more subscriptions. We know a lot of people are watching our videos, but you're not subscribing. Please subscribe and like and share this with your friends. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Bye-bye.